and welcome to NTA2 News at this hour. I am Adejoke Odeka. Many thanks for joining us. Justice Abimbola Awogboro of the Federal High Court, Ikoyi, Lagos, has sentenced Nigerian cross-dresser Idris Okuneye, popularly known as Bobrisky, to 6 months imprisonment for abuse of naira notes without any option of fine. Structures in markets and residential areas that do not conform to rules and regulations of physical planning will be brought down to avert further disasters, no matter who is involved. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu was speaking after an on-the-spot assessment of the Idumagbo Dosumu fire incident in Lagos. Joyken Agbapoya reports.
More than 48 hours since the outbreak of fire at the Dosumu Idumagbo area of Lagos Island, and efforts are still on to totally extinguish the inferno, which has so far affected 14 buildings. Describing the incident as unfortunate, preventable, and one too many, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says government will no longer condone careless acts by selfish persons that put the lives and properties of residents in danger. He blamed the intensity of the fire on the presence of combustible materials, noting that many apartments in the area believed to be residential were converted to warehouses for highly flammable materials.
Thankfully, no lives have been lost, but you can see the amount of property that have been wasted. You can see the amount of people's assets, collateral damages that have been wasted. So this is a call to others outside there. Government will not shy away from its responsibility. We will come really hard, and I'm talking, we will come really, really hard on structures, on properties that will not conform with our rules. We will bring them down. We will bring them down, and I'm saying it now.
For those people that still have their generators suspended, they are once again at their own interest advised to bring them down, because the enforcement team will be here immediately from today to ensure that all generators that are put on the elevated platform are brought down.
Governor Sanwo-Olu, who promised prompt support for victims of the inferno, insists that markets in the area will remain closed until assessments and investigations are over and the proper cleanup done. In Lagos, Joyken Abapoya, NTA News.
Streamlining of the different taxes payable by Nigerians from about 62 to a single 9-digit after completion of the ongoing tax reforms has been applauded by various stakeholders, as the policy is set to bring about a win-win situation for tax authorities and taxpayers. Amaka Owo sought the views of experts on this, which they say will put an end to leakages and boost accountability.
Tax Reforms Committee was inaugurated by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration to address challenges facing the tax system in the country. With the harmonization, we brought about a drastic reduction in the number of taxes. Experts say steps taken reflect an indication that the government is taking the bull by the horn.
It will also ensure efficiency and effectiveness in tax collection. The cost of collection is going to reduce, there will be more compliance, and then the use of non-state actors in tax collection, where you see hoodlums, thugs getting involved in tax collection, will come to an end.
The misconception about multiple taxation, some misconceive multiple taxation in these taxes, and they don't really differentiate between the indirect taxes, which you are only an agent of the government to collect and remit to the government, and the ones that you bear as your own tax. So all those things are going to be resolved, and people will easily, voluntarily comply, and also there will be ease of monitoring.
For these professional in tax matters, the policy is in line with the canons of taxation.
There is also the issue of simplicity, that it should not be a complicated system where people can easily understand that this is what they ought to pay and this is what is within the ambit of the law, that is what they ought to pay, and it should be clear to them. There is also convenience. How they pay, it should be also convenient to them.
And lastly, the issue of economy. The cost of collection should not be as more than the amount that you're going to collect from the taxes.
The benefits of this policy are enormous, as there are emphases on taxpayers to develop the zeal for tax knowledge about.
The National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control has recalled Benylin Pediatrics syrup manufactured by Johnson & Johnson following recent toxicity findings in the laboratory on the product. The agency, which disclosed this on its website, said laboratory analysis conducted on the product showed that it contained an unacceptably high level of datolene glycol and was found to cause acute oral toxicity in laboratory animals, and it has directed the marketing authorization holder of Benylin Pediatric syrup to initiate the recall of the batch, and the notice will also be uploaded to the WHO Global Surveillance and Monitoring System. The details of the product showed that it is manufactured by Johnson & Johnson in Cape Town, South Africa, with batch number 329304. The product was manufactured in May 2021 and it is to expire this month, April 2024. NAFDAC, however, implored importers, distributors, retailers, and consumers to exercise caution and vigilance within the supply chain to avoid the importation, distribution, sale, and use of substandard regulated products, while calling on all Nigerians to obtain any medical products from authorized suppliers. The product's authenticity and physical condition should be carefully checked. The federal government will always welcome with open arms all developmental interventions from Nigerians in the diaspora. These were the words of the chairman of Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, Abike Dabiri-Erewa, to members of Association of Nigerian Physicians in America, who informed the commission of their non-profit medical intervention, which will soon kick off in the country. Larry Bilei has details.
These are representatives of Association of Nigerian Physicians in Americas, AMPA, informing Nigeria in Diaspora Commission NIDCOM Chairman Honorable Abike Dabiri-Erewa about their plan to give back to the country free medical services. The doctors who specialize in different medical fields said apart from catering to health needs of Nigerians during their medical mission, they were engaged in an interdisciplinary training collaboration with medical professionals in the country to encourage transfer of knowledge from both sides geared towards elevating healthcare delivery in the country.
You have the people who are delivering the care locally, and then the diaspora doctors coming in internationally, coming together and sitting and comparing notes and talking about what they've done, research, effective systems, effective care delivery programs. So we learn from each other.
And the primary health care delivery, which is actually the main bread and butter of medicine. Prevention is not just better, it's actually cheaper than cure. What's the cost of a human life? You understand? I mean, immunizations, vaccinations, primary preventions.
NIDCOM Chairman Abike Dabiri-Erewa, while expressing the willingness of President Tinubu-led administration to work with Nigerians in diaspora, described the medical mission as a development that renews the hope of Nigerians.
Our brothers and sisters in the diaspora always come back to give back to the society that made them, and they always appreciate that, and we're grateful particularly to the medical practitioners, doctors, nurses, pharmacists. They always come back to give. And you know another interesting thing, they are building hospitals here. I can count 10.
The medical mission is expected to cover 5,000 patients with 200 to 300 surgeries, and we address health issues such as infant and neonatal mortality, dental, mental health, cardiovascular diseases, colonoscopy, and prostate cancer. In Lagos, Larry Bilei, NTA News.
The federal government is committed to evolving a legal system that will improve citizens' access to justice and restore the confidence of the people in the justice sector. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, stated this while addressing the media on the proposed National Summit on Justice in Abuja. Judiciary correspondent Dele Atumbi reports.
The justice sector of any nation is the enabler of the economy upon which other sectors rest for an improved society. Due to the importance of the justice sector to the overall development of the nation, citizens, including legal minds, have been clamoring for a holistic reform of the justice sector. In response to the improvement in the justice sector, in less than 1 year, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration is convoking a national summit on justice later this month. The National Summit on Justice intends to address the challenges plaguing Nigeria's justice sector and pave the way for the much-needed reforms that will make justice more accessible to all Nigerians. It will also give key players in the sector the unique opportunity to collectively tackle the pressing issues hindering the efficient, fair, and people-centered delivery of justice in Nigeria. The National Summit will bring together experts, legal professionals, and key players from across the country to engage in constructive discussions and develop practical solutions that will prioritize the justice needs of the average Nigerian.
One of the summit's goals is to review, validate, and adopt the revised national policy on justice sector 2024-2028 to drive prison reforms, access to justice for average Nigerians, as well as the review of electoral laws and procedures in handling election-related cases, among several other reforms. This comprehensive policy document outlines a broad framework and initiative in 17 thematic areas aimed at reforming the justice sector to enhance its effectiveness and accessibility to all Nigerians, ensuring that justice is not just a privilege for the few, but a right for all.
We cannot, by any stretch of imagination, be toyed with, cannot be treated with levity, and that is why, under the leadership of the Honorable Attorney General, he has given profound attention to the issues of the judiciary, understanding the critical nature of the judiciary in every democratic sector.
The National Summit on Justice with a theme repositioning the justice system, constitutional, statutory, and operational reforms for access and efficiency is being put together by the federal government in collaboration with the Nigerian Bar Association. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Reviewing and resuscitating the pride of technical, vocational, and entrepreneurship education in Nigeria is a catalyst to improving the status of the economy. Key players in Lagos say this will not only reduce the country's import bill for some items, but provide domestic markets for wealth creation. Michael Olaleye reports.
Simplicity, they say, is the mother of invention, and deeply rooted in its actualization is the indispensable role of technical, vocational, and entrepreneurship education. For countries strongly rooted in this ideology, the gains are visible in the adoption of technology to not only solve pressing problems, but equally drive national economy.
This, I believe, is the only way to fast-track SME development in our country and make research output become relevant to the needs of the society.
With about 135 technical schools, Nigeria has the clear-cut goal of unlocking specific developmental agenda through its vocational and entrepreneurship training programs, but experts say the once lofty ambition has been overshadowed by the premium placed on certification.
The priority has been on a paper certificate, paper qualification. So we can now really give them the right remuneration. I think clear policy should come out whereby this artisan should be paid according to the skill they provide to the country.
Stakeholders see the incorporation of artisans as beneficiaries under the new scholarship scheme as imperative to resuscitating the technical, vocational, and entrepreneurship education's goals, simply because it is a pathway to changing their fortune from small to medium-sized businesses.
We need to get more people to be in that space, creating work, solving problems there. It will enhance our economy ensure economic diversification and economic development in the country.
The end product of this approach will not only be visible in the area of job creation, but also impact on the overall profile of the economy.
We now have an increased curve of skill liquidity in Nigeria. We have an increased market inclusiveness of everybody, that has some form of, informal education. Most importantly, it will boost the overall competitiveness of the Nigerian economy and of Nigerians as the greatest people on earth.
Key players say embracing the technical, vocational, and entrepreneurship education in totality will also reduce the country's dependence on importation and return the pride of the Naira as a legal tender. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
You're watching the news on NTA2, your reach out station. Let's take a break. The news continues shortly.
Hey, beautiful.
Yes, you.
Looking to become the next female leader in the marketing and communications industry? The Agiles has something for you. We'll be hosting a business masterclass and symposium exclusively for the female students in the University of Lagos, themed Women Leading Change, empowering the next generation of marketing and creative mavericks at the Theatre Hall, Department of Creative Arts, Unilag, on 12th April 2024, with industry leaders like Joke Silva and Deborah Williams as our keynote speakers, and the likes of Mayor Filani of Showmax, Akintunde Bada of MTV Base, Ochuko Adebayo of Disney, Choma Ude of Afrif, ex-BBN housemate Olabamike Adeniboyan, aka Bam Bam, and a host of others. Register now at www.densuagile.com.
That's not all. Some female students will be receiving a business grant worth 2 million naira, as well as internships in top media and production companies. Don't forget to register. www.densuagile.com. See you there.
The counsel of our fathers.
I will urge and advise our younger generation to use talent and brain to sort out problems, not arms.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation.
My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is.
I believe we have fought one civil war too many in this country. So those who experienced it will run away from it.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
Welcome back. Anyone who begins a building construction in Lagos without a revalidated authorization by the Lagos State Building Control Agency would henceforth face the law. This decision of the Lagos State government was made known by the special advisor to the Lagos State Governor on urban planning during a routine inspection in Ikoyi. Joy Ken Abakpoya has details.
Addressing the media shortly after sealing of some buildings that contravened the state's building regulations, the special advisor on urban planning, Olajide Babatunde, advised developers to visit the offices of the state's building control agency to have their authorization revalidated, as any ongoing building construction without this requirement would be brought down and owners prosecuted.
It's not only when building collapse alone, no. Even when you contravene. So, I mean, we are going around and checking some of these properties that we have sealed, and also put a sign on to ensure that nobody, has come back, to return to the original ways of their doing things in a way that government does not accept.
General Manager of the Lagos State Building Control Agency, Bolahan Oki, advised developers to desist from sharp practices and adhere to laid down rules and procedures. He urged community members to report any infractions in construction sites for necessary actions to prevent the collapse of buildings.
The neighbors have a lot to do in construction industry. It's not only the government. It's not only the government. Some of us here are coming from Abulegba, but there are people living here. They saw this, but they will not say anything. There's our property beside. Even when they are building or contravening, they are neighbors. Until the thing is going to affect them, that's when you start seeing them taking pictures and writing a lot of petition. What are they doing? This is what we are taught when we are growing up now. We need to put that in practice.
During the routine inspection, 4 buildings on Queen's Drive and Alexander Road in Ikoyi were sealed up by the officials of the Building Control Agency. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakboya, NTA News.
Let's now bring you entertainment segment of the news. Hello, this is the entertainment segment of the news. Afrobeats singer Ahmed Ololade, also known as Ashake, has revealed that he is not sad over his Grammy loss to South Africa's Tyler. Tyler's Water defeated Ashake's Amapiano and other Nigerian songs to win the maiden Best African Music Performance category at the 66th Grammys. However, the Mr. Money with the Vibe crooner said that he does not take it as a loss. According to him, he is upbeat that he might get more Grammy nominations and probably win next year. Still on entertainment news, it is a sad period for the Nollywood industry as actor Junior Pope Odonwodo, popularly known as Junior Pope, has been confirmed dead after a boat accident while traveling to take part in a movie in Delta State. According to the president of the Actors Guild of Nigeria, Emeka Rollas, their joy was short-lived after 2 notable hospitals tried their best to revive him, but to no avail. Hours before the accident, the 39-year-old actor had shared a video of him and 4 others on his Instagram page traveling to the movie location on a boat, expressing concerns and praying for a safe journey. The Actors Guild of Nigeria has suspended the shooting of movies in riverine areas and boat riding following the death of Nollywood actor Junior Pope. May his soul rest in peace. Amen. Sports update is next. Man.
After qualifying for the Olympic Games in Paris after 16 years, the Nigerian Football Federation has concluded plans to organize 2 friendly matches for the Super Falcons to ensure they are adequately prepared for the Olympic Games. This is hidden to the call by the Super Falcons head coach Randy Waldrum, who advised the football body on the need for the international friendlies to ensure the team is well prepared ahead of the games in France. The Super Falcons have been drawn in a group alongside Brazil, Japan, and Spain. In the English Premier League clubs have unanimously agreed to the use of the semi-automated offside technology from next season. The decision to introduce the technology was agreed at the Premier League executive meeting Thursday. The new system will be used for the first time in the Premier League next season. The league body stated that the technology will provide quicker and consistent placement of the virtual offside line based on the optical player tracking. It noted that it will produce high-quality broadcast graphics to ensure an enhanced stadium and broadcast experience for supporters.
Trying to finish the fight here in round number 4, and the fight is stopped by Tony Weeks as F.A. Ajagba.
In boxing, WBC silver heavyweight champion Nigeria's F.A. Ajagba will defend his title against Italy's Goscio Vennello on Saturday, April 13 at the Americans Bank Center in Texas, USA. Ajagba, with a record of 19 victories, 14 via technical knockouts with 1 loss. Ajagba comes into the fight with a 4th-round victory over Joseph Godot in his last outing on November 4, 2023. Vennello comes into the fight after defeating Moses Johnson in the 1st round. The 29-year-old has won his last 2 fights since he lost by TKO to Jonathan Rice on January 14, 2023. With Sports Update, Gift George, NTA News.
That's our package on NTA2 News at this time. Do stay with the NTA for more news updates and other interesting programs. I am Adejoke Odeka.
My name's Ryan. I'm just the average kid off the block. I don't hustle, I don't drink, I don't carry a Glock. My story's typical. Young, sharp-tongued, maybe even sprung. But I don't know where I'm going or where I'm coming from. Pops passed away, but life goes on.
Ryan, didn't I ask you to take the garbage out early?
Most times I'm withdrawn, because life beats at me just like a baton.
Now you done missed the pickup, and now we gotta wait until next week.
Mom just want me to help out around. My daddy's best friend just wanted me to stand my ground. My daddy's